welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to do kind of a really quick informational video on some options of semi-permanent hair extensions. Extensions are huge, they're everywhere, and they are becoming more and more accessible, which is a beautiful thing. But having said that, since there are so many different types of extensions, from clip-ins to weaves to everything in between, there are some types of semi-permanent hair extensions that are better for some types of hair than others, and I think it's good to understand that, so everybody who does get extensions or want extensions is kind of geared to have a good experience rather than have a really devastating experience, which can happen with some semi-permanent hair extensions. Having said that, you always want to go to a professional to have your hair extensions put in. I don't want to knock self-taught individuals. It's just the same as makeup. There are tons of talented self-taught makeup artists out there, just like there are tons of self-taught hair extensionists out there. However, you want to make sure that their work is good, so I always recommend getting pictures of their work, just like you would a makeup artist or anything like that, just to make sure you know that they know what they're doing, basically, is what you want. So the benefit of going to get hair extensions done at a salon is that you obviously know that they've been trained in it, otherwise the salon probably wouldn't be insured for that, or they wouldn't be able to do it. The downside is it can get really, really expensive, and you get a very small number of hair extension varieties being used that are really expensive. For example, great lengths hair extensions, they are a really great option, however they are extremely expensive. So I would say if you have the money for that, great, because there are a lot of great lengths extension salons out there. However, I would also suggest kind of asking around in town or looking for other people who are doing hair extensions either out of a home studio, which a lot of hairstylists have. Since the overhead is so much lower, they are able to make a little bit more income that way, or going to a smaller salon that has less staff and they don't use the great lengths. Your cost will be a little bit lower. Just make sure you look at their work and make sure that they do a good job, and do your research also on what type of extensions you want. So I'm going to be talking about, I refer to it as Microbead. I know that it has a lot of different names, but it uses these silicone lined aluminum beads, and so they come in lots of different colors depending on what color your hair is. So these are aluminum on the outside, I believe. They can be aluminum or they can be colored copper, and they just have, you probably won't be able to see, they just have a tiny bit of silicone lining on the ring so the hair doesn't slip out. You can use that in a number of different ways. My favorite method is the Microbead Weft. You can either sew those onto the weft themselves or use the beads separately and just attach the hair extension weft to the head. The reason I like that method the most is it causes the least amount of damage, and you do get quite a bit of volume because the hair remains intact on the weft. It is a little bit tricky to install. There's not very many people who do the Microbead Weft, and the reason is there is a higher chance of slippage for sure. However, it is so much easier to fix than anything else. You simply have to put the bead in, you clamp it down with pliers to make sure it's tight around the hair. To get it out, you just clamp it in the other direction so the bead goes back to its natural shape, and just pull it out. So there's really a low risk for damage, which I think is appealing for a lot of people, especially people new to hair extensions. Semi-permanent hair extensions do require so much more care than clip-ins or anything like that. You need to be aware that they are going to be drier and need to be brushed out more, simply because it is a lot of hair. So you just need to be prepared to give the hair that TLC that it needs. Another way you can use the microbeads is there are I-tip hair extensions that you can purchase. They're individually glued together kind of sections of hair, and what you do is you just lay that against a section of hair and clamp the microbead over it. That definitely has less slippage than the Microbead Weft. However, the install time is a lot longer, so you will end up paying more for that depending on who's doing it. But they use the same bead system, and they are less damaging than something like fusions, which I am going to be talking about next. So if you're looking for a really good way to try extensions out. If you're looking for really easy extensions, if you change your mind easily and think that you might want them out, I would go anything microbead, because they're so easy to remove and so easy to put in that if you do change your mind, it's easy to take it out, no damage, no fuss. You could even get a friend to take it out for you. Like, it's super easy as long as you have a good set of pliers and your friend's not like crazy. It's also a really good transition from clip-ins because it is so easy, and it is more, especially if you do the weft, more voluminous, which is what you will be used to if you have been using clip-ins. So the next type of extensions I'm going to be talking about is Keratin Infusion or Keratin bonded extensions. In this category, there are so many different types of extensions. I think there's like hot fusion, cold fusion, pre-tipped, U-tip, so many crazy things. The one that I tend to do most and the one that I've had the most is I believe it is hot fusion, but it's with keratin glue beads. So if you're not using the U-tip, which are the pre-tipped individual sections of hair extensions, you use, I don't know if you guys can see, these are keratin glue beads. So what is this? It's the broken down protein in your hair, which is keratin. And I also believe it's mixed with some sort of resin, which makes it a bit of a glue rather than just the pure protein. And what happens is that is melted in a hot pot if you are doing just from the weft cut sections and attaching it to the head. It's melted in a little cooking pot down to the right temperature, so it is like a liquidy consistency. And then the ends of the hair that's cut off the weft is coated in that and then rolled carefully around the hair until it dries, and then the bond is made around the hair. That installation, I think this method has a really bad rap because I think people are really shitty at taking care of their hair extensions, so they have a bad experience. Like any hair extensions, you have to do your part and make sure that you are taking the best care of your extensions. If you're not, then you're gonna have a bad experience. And even though people blame everyone else but themselves most of the time, you need to be taking care of the hair. Otherwise, you're just gonna look like garbage, like, to be completely honest. And you're gonna have lots of damage to your own hair too. So the fusion hair extensions, they are a lot more work than the microbead. You have to make sure that the bonds don't stick together, and to get them removed, you really need to go see a professional. Otherwise, you're gonna lose a lot of hair, you're gonna get a lot of breakage, simply because it is a glue and you need to have glue remover or somebody who knows exactly how to remove them to remove them. This is why when people get great lengths extensions, which are fusion extensions, they need to go get them removed or get them maintained by the person that put them in. Like, it's as simple as that. I personally love the fusion extensions because they look so natural, and it's nice to have the versatility to be able to put your hair up, put it in braids and things like that. With the microbead weft, not necessarily the individual microbead installation, the microbead weft, it kind of prevents you from doing a lot of different hairstyles simply because the hair is installed in larger sections. So if you put it in a high pony or something like that, they might be more visible the more they grow out. I would say you need to get them maintained at least once every 2 to 3 months. And what I mean by maintained is get the bonds adjusted, get more hair put in, just to keep it looking natural. And you need to probably, I would say, take them out and have a bit of a break, do some masking, things like that every 6 months. So that is just in the best interest of your natural hair. Both of these methods do allow your natural hair to grow, and that is a really nice thing, because if you are kind of in that awkward in-between stage of growing your hair out and it not growing as fast as you'd like it to, hair extensions are a great option to kind of give you that length. And you can also do quite a few protective styles, like really neat buns and braids and things like that, to make sure that your hair doesn't get damaged. There's not a lot of friction on your hair, so it doesn't prevent your hair from growing. It will just make your hair look really nice while it is growing out, as long as you take care of your hair. If you are bad at taking care of your hair extensions, just like if you're really rough with clip-ins or anything like that, it's gonna break your hair off and you're gonna not have your hair grow. That's just kind of as simple as it is. So if you are thinking about semi-permanent hair extensions, kind of moving away from clip-ins, I really recommend kind of doing your work in your town, see who does it, doing your homework online. I have made a couple fusion videos, which I will link down below so you can have a look at that. They're a little bit older, but still relevant. If you are looking for some really good clip-ins, and I think I will be moving back to clip-ins more simply because the lovely girl who did my hair extensions no longer lives in my town, and I can't really do my own hair extensions, so it's kind of a bummer, but you know. Yeah, I probably will be getting another set of clip-in extensions. My favorite tried and true clip-in hair extension company is My Pink Vanity and their Lush Locks extensions. They have phenomenal hair quality that is consistent from color to color, from set to set, things like that. It's really beautiful. I will link their website down below. The owner of the company, Amy, is phenomenal, and they have great customer service, and they're super reasonable. They are cheaper per gram than Bellamy, so that's really, how can you go wrong, really? So I hope you guys are having a great day. Thanks so much for watching my video. I hope you learned something. And if you're interested in more hair extension stuff, just Google it. Like, there's so much information on the internet for you. Don't forget to subscribe and thumbs up this video. And also don't forget to come follow me on social media like Instagram, because I'm there all the time. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon.